50 years passed. Empires forgot. But Xynia did not. In 1245, the Song Emperor Liángǎng ordered an investigation. Whispers from distant ports spoke of strange coins, unfamiliar fabrics, and people with Chinese features on lands no map dared to claim. The lost colony of Xynia, thought to be destroyed during the Nehua, might still exist. In the deep southern valleys of Xynia, a man had risen. Wēi Qìnzhōng had spent the last decade uniting tribes, building villages and training warriors. To his people, he was not a colonist. He was a protector, a bridge between two worlds. Further north, along the coast, the city of Liángǎng flourished. Born from old outposts and merchant docks, it had evolved into a neutral port, governed by a powerful council led by Li Meiyan, daughter of a song scribe and a noble native. Meanwhile, in the northern highlands of Xynia, the Japanese Bakufu continued to tighten its grip. After years of silent expansion, Japanese settlers had established fortified towns and military outposts across the rugged plateaus above Tlaxcalan. Kawakami Tominari was still in power, experienced and pragmatic, no longer focused solely on the south. His gaze had shifted. Xynia seemed to have reached a fragile balance. But our timeline is about to shift. In the coastal city of Liángǎng, neutrality was no longer enough. The city's council, led by merchants and mixed-blood elites, began pushing for greater autonomy, independence in all but name. Yet their survival still depended heavily on trade with the Japanese Bakufu. To the south, Wēi Qìnzhōng sought no war. He believed in unity through kinship, not conquest. Using his dual heritage, he began peacefully expanding his influence, forging alliances with scattered tribal communities, founding new villages, and offering protection under a common banner. But while one hand offered peace, the other tightened its grip. In the year 1253, something remarkable happened in Xynia. After years of quiet tension, border skirmishes, and shifting alliances, the three dominant powers of the region reached a historic agreement, the Treaty of Lotus Harbor. It was a rare moment of balance. On June 14, 1253, the treaty was officially signed by the three major forces of Xynia. The northern Japanese Bakufu, ruled by the strict and feared daimyō Tominari. The Southern Protectorate, led by Wēi Qìnzhōng, a respected leader of both Chinese settlers and local tribes. And the neutral trade city of Liángǎng, governed by Li Meiyan, a woman known for her diplomacy and intelligence. Each of the three had different reasons to choose peace. The Japanese forces in the north had already shifted their attention. Instead of marching south to challenge Wēi Qìnzhōng, they focused on conquering the highland tribes further north, the Mihai, the Zapotec, and the Chontal. These proud mountain people had resisted both Chinese and Japanese influence for decades. For Wēi Qìnzhōng, the choice was clear. He had no interest in full-scale war. His southern villages needed time to grow, to train, to unite. And for Liángǎng, neutrality was a gift. For the first time in decades, peace seemed possible. But even as the ink dried on the treaty, new sails were rising on the horizon. The Chinese imperial fleet had finally arrived. The Japanese Bakufu advanced northward, easily overtaking the proud highland tribes. Then, on September 8, 1255, 7 Chinese war junks anchored at the port of Liángǎng, led by General Zhou Wend. But instead of a warm welcome, he met caution. No one bowed. No one asked for aid. The Chinese demanded control over a portion of Liángǎng's trade routes, citing their original role in founding the colony. Wēi Qìnzhōng did not hide. He welcomed Zhou Wend respectfully, but remained wary. He had seen how the Japanese had treated the land, and knew the Chinese might do the same. Wei had fewer men, but better knowledge of the terrain and tribal alliances. Tensions rose. The Chinese established an outpost further south and sent an ultimatum to Li Meiyan. We trust Liángǎng will act reasonably regarding the trade routes. A new daimyō had taken control in the north. The old one, once revered, had been cast aside, too aged, too hesitant to pursue further conquest. The Bakufu, now under bolder leadership, was quietly reshaping its strategy, no longer content with holding ground, but eyeing new conquests. December 3rd, 1255. A devastating fire engulfed the southern docks of Liángǎng, causing many casualties. Investigations quickly revealed signs of sabotage. In the north, the newly appointed daimyō, Arinobu, took power amidst growing tensions, wary of accusations directed at his predecessor's administration. In response, General Zhou strategically positioned his forces along the southern coastline, preparing for the inevitable. Wēi Qìnzhōng, sensing immediate threat, dispatched troops northward to protect Liángǎng. The Treaty of Lotus Harbor now hung precariously, overshadowed by mistrust and suspicion. Far away, hidden in forests and highlands, the forgotten tribes, the Mihé, Zapotec, and Chontal, recognized the coming chaos as their opportunity. War was no longer looming. It had arrived. It had arrived in Xynia,